Watching the news seems respectable, something serious people do. It's not an action series, a comedy, or a reality show, yet it enjoys an aura of credibility. I remember back when my dad used to put on the news. It was almost a sacred ritual. He'd sit down with his coffee, turn on the TV, and we all had to be quiet because this is important. And there I was, staring at the screen, wondering if they would ever announce something that actually affected my little kid life. I stopped watching the news years ago, not because I live in a cave or don't care about the world, but because I discovered something. Excessive news consumption has negative effects on the mind. Don't just take my word for it. Psychologists, researchers, and even ancient Stoics knew this long ago. Seneca once said, "If you live in harmony with nature, you will never be poor. If you live according to other people's opinions, you will never be rich." And if there's one thing the news is full of, it's opinions. Our brain has a negativity bias, meaning we pay more attention to bad things than good ones. Evolutionarily, this made sense. If you saw a beautiful sunset but also a lurking tiger, you'd better focus on the tiger. But now, there are no tigers, unless you live in the jungle, in which case your concerns are different. However, news outlets know this and exploit it. Good news is no news, they say. And it's true. Imagine a headline: "Millions of people were kind to each other today." Interesting? No. But slap on "political scandal" or "world on the brink" of collapse, and suddenly we're all glued to the screen, hearts racing. The problem is that constant exposure to negativity changes us. Cognitive behavioral psychology has studied this. What you consume affects how you think and feel. If you see news about corruption, violence, and crises every day, your brain starts predicting that the world is a hostile place. As Epictetus said, "It's not events that disturb us, but our interpretation of them." And if we only feed our minds with chaos, what do you think we'll project? On top of that, 90% of these news stories are irrelevant within days. What seemed like the event that will change history yesterday is already forgotten today. Meanwhile, you spent another day feeling anxious and stressed, believing everything is falling apart. I'm not saying to live in ignorance, but filter what you consume. Ask yourself, does this help me become a better person? Does it give me tools to live with more peace and wisdom? Marcus Aurelius said, "The happiness of your life depends on the quality of your thoughts." And those thoughts largely depend on what you allow into your mind. If you flood your head with media-driven chaos, anxiety, and fear, you'll live in a constant state of alarm. But if you focus on what you can control, on self-improvement, and on surrounding yourself with valuable information, then, little by little, you'll reclaim your inner peace. So, my friend, next time you feel the urge to watch the news, ask yourself, does this really add value to my life? Or is it just draining my energy and making me feel worse? In the end, if something truly important happens, you'll find out. Trust me, people love sharing bad news. Meanwhile, use your time on something that actually matters. If you enjoyed this reflection, subscribe to this channel, like the video, but most importantly, comment on what you think about these topics and situations. What would you do? Thanks for being here. See you in the next Stoic Reflection.